I finally flew the airplane, figured it out last night, 6 years ago, about this kit, March of 2020. It took me about a year to get started. And for the first part of that, I was undoing work done by the previous builder. I think the last episode I did was claiming that the airplane was ready for inspection, and it was. Inspection took place on February 6th. I used Gary Brown as my DAR. He was great to work with. I'll put his contact information below and in front of my face. He had a tight schedule. I had a tight schedule. It was basically, I had the 5th and 6th. The 5th, I was scrambling to get last minute items done on this airplane, and the 6th, woke up and the weather was crap. He emailed me, said, weather's crap. I don't know if it's happening today. I just came out to the airport because there still remains things to be done on this airplane. But then weather cleared up enough that he was able to fly up here. Quick review, Gary can drive or he can fly. And he charges by the hour for his time in transit. So you hope to do it on a day when the weather's good and he can fly. I'm going to save things like how the paperwork went, inspection process, another hitch dealing with the FAA since resolved, allegedly. In another episode, I'm going to cover things like how much did I spend, how long did it take, would I build another Kitfox, what would I do different. But that's going to be another episode because this one's going to be about flying the airplane. It's one that I've been waiting for, and probably most of you have been putting up with my videos, have been waiting for also. On the 18th, I got back here to the Puget Sound area, and next day I showed up and I was thinking that I was going to get an airplane flight. The weather was complete garbage for 2 days solid and into yesterday also. I occupied myself with finishing some things that were not yet perfectly done, reevaluating everything in the flight control system. I had my Canon LPS-1 and a rag and making sure everything was touched up and pivoting freely and operating in the correct direction. Swapped out the tail wheel. I have a Acme Stinger now. I was going to make a joke about anvils and rocket-powered roller skates, but you all heard it. The Acme is an outstanding product. The machine work is beautiful. I did a little unboxing here, which I think I captured. There. Wow, that is substantial, and I'm not going to lie, beautifully machined. Wow. Cool. That's going to change my weight and balance a little bit, but I have room because I'm at the forward edge. Oh yeah, funny story. So yesterday I did all of this to a camera with a dead battery. So that there's funny. Anyway, the Stinger, I picked the airplane up, took off the T3 tail wheel with my, I always call it a Scott 3200 Alaska bush wheel, put it on the Stinger, mounted it on the airplane, went home with the thumb drive that was included in the box, read the instructions, came back the next day, uninstalled it, reinstalled it correctly following the instructions. Recommend to do that. It's fully adjustable to account for the fact that the back of your airplane might be a little bit twisted. My Citabria was a little bit twisted. This airplane's a little bit twisted. It's just the nature of welding 4130 chrome moly steel that it may not come out totally perfect, but it's adjustable, and so it came out awesome. And the length of my chains came out good. Side trip, I adjusted it to the lowest setting so that it's 20% softer than normal and also drops a little bit more. So I got some notes on the whiteboard. The T3 tail wheel, everything included hardware. This is 1-for-1, apples to apples, was 14 pounds, and an arbitrary point on the back of the vertical fin was 19.5 inches off the ground, which is sitting kind of flat. It's a very tall tail wheel. The Acme is 16.875 pounds, 16 pounds, 14 ounces. So 2 pounds, 14 ounces heavier, which I could use actually because I was at the forward end of the CG envelope. And if you're not familiar with the Kitfox, the gas and passengers are all on CG, so there's nothing changes with that. It's only what you stick in the baggage compartment or what you can come up with an excuse to put it in the back of the airplane, like a battery or a heavier tail wheel. And it dropped from 19.5 inches down to 17, so it actually sits a little bit better. And it is the best handling tail wheel plane, non-military, that I have flown, bar none. It's awesome. And landing this airplane so far, it occurs to me later on that I haven't even thought about the tail wheel. There has been no negative anything back there, shimmy, a bounce, whatever. It's awesome. Highly recommended. Additional advantage in my wallet is so much lighter. So there are two issues I was fighting yesterday that I figured I was going to walk away from here and not fly this airplane. Transponder and COM radio. They both worked, but on the EFIS displays, the transponder had a red X through it. So it was allowing me to set a transponder code and switch the modes, but I wasn't sure if anybody was going to be able to see that. The COM radio, the issue was that it was set with the Vox disabled. So it looked like it was an open mic. The squelch was set all the way up, which is mildly annoying when you're just on the ground taxiing around. But as I was to find out in flight, at full power on climb out, I can't hear crap other than the engine. Transponder, I was able to cure yesterday. Got rid of the red X. I suspected it was a piece of cable that I had that was not the right kind. So I replaced the cable with a piece I borrowed from my airport neighbor Glenn with a piece of fat coax, and it didn't change the scenario at all. Once again, sitting here reading the manual, highly dejected because I'm not going to fly. I had been trying to change the serial port configurations and just backing out of the menu structure, and it tells me that you have to shut it off and turn it back on. Cure for everything. So the Sandia STX 165R is on port 5. Turned it off, turned it back on, no red X. And at the time, the open Vox was an issue, but I didn't realize that it was going to be a major issue. So I went ahead with plans to fly the airplane, and it proceeded exactly how I expected it to. I wanted to do 2 rejected takeoffs. I wanted to get off the ground, reduce power, land the airplane, full-length taxi back. I want to do 2 laps of that. And then I wanted to come back and inspect the aircraft for things that might be falling off or leaking. Did that. So the weather's nice. There's a whole lot of training traffic. There's a whole lot of transient traffic. Controllers here, some of them I think they're new or just crabby. No sense of humor. So finally I just did closed traffic, went around, came back and landed. Every airplane's going to have squawks, right? So the open Vox on climb out airspeed indication is garbage. I had some buildup. I did find some blockage on my pitot tube, which I suspect are from my friends here. I'm trying to give them as much love as possible. Clean that out, and that wasn't it. So I'm gonna have to chase the pitot static tubing down. Or have something backwards for the AOA. Pull off the wingtip where I have some connectors, and possibly pull off the boot cowl and inspect clear to the back of both of the displays. Make sure there's not a hose popped off. All right, almost forgot. Today I made use of the electric vest that I bought a long time ago. These are one size fits many. They have these side zippers. In fact, I think there's 2 different adjustments you can make for different levels of girth. Electric gear is awesome. I use it riding the motorcycle. Commuted 365 a year here in Puget Sound in temperatures. Lowest I rode in was -14, and just a vest is a game changer. Keeps your core warm. These are, I don't call them off-brand. They're not super expensive. Dr. Prepare, I'll throw a link up. I was just about to say you can drive them off ship's power, but you can't. These are 7.4 volts. So I got 2 vests for the 2 people in the airplane, or that I can bring 2 different battery packs. It's adjustable, has 3 different heat settings. I prefer smoke rolling off my back. Today I actually turned it down to medium. Drafty airplane, my hands were cold. I might bring gloves next time, or I might work on sealing up some of these big gaps. But anyway, big fan of electric gear. Not drawing any power from the ship system is good, because I don't have a whole lot of alternator capacity. Technically a stator like a motorcycle runs. And the cool thing about a heated vest is it's still working when you get out of the airplane. If you've never worn one before, take off all your crap that you're wearing, put on the vest, and then put your outer layers over the top. And that way it's gonna heat close to your skin, and then the insulation will retain the heat. Again, good stuff. I think I paid 75 bucks a piece for these vests with the batteries. Milliamp hours, 16,000. Not getting anything by promoting this product. If it turns out to be complete crap or catches on fire, I'll let you know. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. Let's go flying.